Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to our 700th episode. That is a difficult word to say, 700th. That's why they said the 700 Club, because 700th is a tough.
All right.
I don't actually know why it's called the 700 Club. I don't need to know. I'm good. But so I accidentally mislabeled our last episode of Bobby as the 700th, then had to go back and change it. And so in some places it still says it, and in other places it doesn't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 700. I can't believe it.
That's insane.
I know.
That's insane.
Absolutely crazy. So this is the recap for November 3rd through 7th, 2025. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I still had it up on Halloween. I'm like, no, that was last Friday. We'll get to it. But you texted me after we did the show last week, so I put it automatically on my notes that we forgot to mention Nina during Portia under the bus to Sunny.
Yes.
So we will definitely get to that. A couple Port Charles 411s. We have brand, and it just says Brand J. Fast forward 5 months. And so this was actually a comment on episode 649.
Okay.
Fast forward 5 months. We went from, I love Chase to Chase is such a moron. LOL. Love going back and listening to old episodes. Woo.
I will stand by my love of Chase when he deserved it, and by my not so much love of Chase right now, because he's just being stupid.
That's exactly what we responded. LOL, still love him, just not as crazy about his blindness that he's having with Willow. It's so weird. And they responded, there's worse characters for sure. Maybe he just needs a detective refresher course. So I liked that. And then we had a comment, and I love the disclaimer at the beginning of this one. This is nothing against your podcast, but
uh-oh.
Just listening to your analysis of the Dalton storyline made my eyes glaze over. Listen, we are trying to make it interesting, guys. We're trying the best we can do. I can't recall a storyline I've cared less about other than Britt, which apparently is involved here too, in ages. 100% writers haven't even known where they're going on this. And he's been on a year. I didn't think it had been a year yet.
No. Wow.
The whole thing bores me, and I always fast forward. Now all the kids are involved. Snooze. On that negative Nelly note, thanks for the podcast. So thank you for the positive at the end of it.
Right, exactly.
And we're trying. Precursor that it's nothing against us. It's just the subject matter that they are giving us to talk about.
Right.
Is what it is. And we just responded, hopefully it all starts to make sense soon. The payoff's worth it. Thanks for hanging with us through it. And then on our episode of Bobby, episode 699, same person. Wow, I was watching during that era and I had forgotten so many historical facts and so much history there, which is why we do 411. Because how many times did we say it as we were going through? Oh my gosh, I forgot that's when that happened. Or
there's a great playlist, and I honestly did not jot down who it was, but I don't really want to call them out because we've talked about that. YouTube likes to take them down anyway. But there's a great playlist of Bobby 98, 99, and into 2000, I think. And a lot of them are labeled Carly Roberts because obviously it has to do with Carly stuff, but it is like the perfect play. After every time I type up a paragraph and then I look at what's on YouTube, I'm like, oh, that if I would have just watched that summarized that whole paragraph for me. It goes by every single clip. So if you're needing to catch up and don't want to be like completely shocked again, check out that YouTube.
Or listen to us first and then go listen to the YouTube and be like, wait a second, I need to watch to make sure that happened. So they go on to say, I said more than once to myself, really? That happened? I think I romanticize the memories of Dr. Jones now, but I do recall that messed up time. Thanks for the trip down memory lane. Lately, I often think GH has jumped the shark in their version of, quote, reality, and now I remember it's always been this convoluted. Honestly, being a fan so long, how could I forget that? LOL. Because we love it.
We do
You
love it.
forget you
And
forget the bad things about the things that you love.
And Tony was amazing for a while. I mean, we did talk about that with Bobby a year ago whenever we were talking. The way that he proposed and with the ring and the
Yes.
jar and the backyard was all lit up and you're my best friend. I love you. Like, oh my gosh, he was
I
amazing.
know. I
But
know.
yeah, I mean, I guess we all have amazing moments and
Well, look at what they've done to Drew.
yeah, true.
Guys, we really did like Drew. There was a time
I like
where you
can't even
loved
remember
Drew.
that anymore. I know we
But
did, but I can't
exactly.
remember that.
Exactly. If you go back to when Drew came on, and even though, we thought that he was Jake, and then we thought he was Jason, and then he became Drew, like that whole thing. But yeah, yeah. So from our friend Lisa, I went with four of my friends to the GH weekend at Graceland. It did not disappoint. First evening was a costume party, which the five of us dressed as the five poppies. Kelly, Britt, was our judge, so we made it to the stage but did not win. GH community is so loving. I talked to many fans who are your fans.
Yeah.
If someday you can go, you would be celebrities. Oh my gosh. If I could be a celebrity at Graceland, I would, like, I'm ready to cry.
Let's go. When's the next one? Let's book it.
And my Grammy's there.
Yes. That's what my first thought was. But go ahead. I can't believe she
Okay.
even like brought us up. Like, how did that conversation happen?
Yeah, Lisa, we need more details here.
If you're gonna talk about us and boost our ego, we need the whole story.
Well, I hope that it got brought up because I mentioned enough times, I think, that my Grammy loves Elvis.
Yes, you do.
Why is that not even like she is there? That's one of the reasons why I've never asked for us to go because I'm going to have a really tough time going because
Yeah, but you'll be okay because you'll be with me and it'll be GH centered, so it'll make it great.
I will be crying the whole time, just
It'll
so
be okay.
everybody knows. But
All
the
right.
reasons behind it is Graceland and
Yes.
yeah. Oh my gosh, we're celebrities. Okay.
I really want to know how that conversation came about.
Yeah. And then from Holly, Bobby, episode 9, loved this episode. I had forgotten what a great year 1998 was. Yeah. And then Debbie, hi, enjoy the show today. I was excited to hear you mention my email. Thanks. Well, here you go again. I didn't realize that Amanda Sutton was on One Life to Live with Josh. It would be so cool to have a 411 on former co-stars who are again co-stars and what relationship they had in the past compared to current. And you shared with me the photo of Laura Wright and Chris
Um,
Brennan. What the heck is his name? Chris blah
I don't know. I'm sorry.
McKenna.
Thank you. All I could get
I'm like,
was
it is on the tip of my tongue and I cannot remember.
no. All I could get was his One Life to Live name, and I'm like Joey Buchanan. I don't know what his real name is.
Anyway, love the podcast. Thanks again. So yes, I had mentioned that I would like to do the who was like couples, I think I said. But yeah, no, who was co-stars and oh yeah, that'd be a really good one. Okay,
Okay.
this one we are going to need our fans' help though, because I didn't watch all of them, you didn't watch all of them. Guys, if you know, please write in.
Okay, I understand the thought process and I want to be there with you, but I also don't know that I'm prepared to be that grossed out because I saw a post the other day of Ned and Tracy, our father,
Yeah.
our
Yeah, that's what I was referencing when I
yeah,
said about the mother-daughter or the mother-son, but they used to be. Yeah,
yeah.
that's who I was referencing,
And
but I
then
didn't want to mention it.
another one. I can't remember who the other one was, but I was like, ew. I don't think I can think of these people romantically involved after I've seen them as brother and sister or mother and son or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just fair warning everyone. There's going to be a lot of ew during that recap or that 411 because I'm going to be grossed out.
But no, the Tracy Ned one was the one that I was talking about, but not talking about. Because I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not even opening that because that's a whole other conversation.
It's
But
crazy.
yes,
Ew.
that would be a great 411 for us to do. Yes. But we definitely need people's help with who used to be co-stars, who used to be in what relationship. Because I mean, we have decades for all of them.
Right, especially if it wasn't All My Children or One Life to Live. Like I have no idea what's happening on those other stations. Often I'll be in a doctor's office and I'll see our people on the TV and I'm texting you like, why is Ned over here when should only be in Port Charles? I don't understand.
Yep. Or like when Tristan Rogers was on, like Well, so when Ned, okay, this is a whole other spiral, but when Wally's on, what other show is he on? Bold and the Beautiful?
I think so, but I can't swear to it.
Whichever other one
Again,
he's
I
on.
don't pay
Like,
attention to it.
is he on with any other past GH character? So, like, that whole thing. Okay, moving on.
Nina,
I'm not
isn't
doing the
he?
411
Or
now.
Michelle Stafford, isn't she on the same one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch them.
I don't know. They should all stay at GH.
Yes. And then we have from Paris, hello, my lovely peer people. Brief exchange you may have missed. Martin reached out. She said no. Then she came to say goodbye in the crypt. Tracy was a monster, so Ronnie called Martin back. Tracy offended her, so she changed her mind. She sent this on Monday at 8:30 a.m. before the show had aired.
How did she know that? I don't feel like we saw that.
That's a prediction. It's what we do all the
Oh,
time.
oh, oh.
That was a prediction.
I thought you meant she was telling you. And I was like, how does she know
No,
that?
no, no, no.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and we'll get to that later. But that was good. Good job on having your prediction correct.
She wants to be on our list. She wants to outrate us.
Right? Listen, I have a hard enough time keeping track of what we guess and when we're right. I'm not going to be able to guess. I'm not going to be able to keep track of all this.
I understand.
Okay, so we are on my last. Guess who's on Dawson's Creek? Because I made it to the last season. I'm not done with the show yet, but I made it to the last season, and out of nowhere, I just text Amanda, my gosh, Roger Howarth.
And he's such a jerk. He's such a jerk on that show.
I was seriously racking my brain, and then I was like, no, I don't want to know. Because I wasn't going to go check. And I wasn't watching when it happened. And I heard the voice, and I was like, no, it's not. And then I looked up, and it was him. So, oh my gosh, he looks so young though, too.
I know, I know. I'm so glad that I just rewatched it a few months ago because whenever you text me and you were like, I can't believe it, I was like, I just watched it and wait until you get into it. And you had just seen the first episode where they like bumped into each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, just get ready, girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm further in. However, totally unaware that Oliver Hudson was in stuff that young.
Right.
I thought he came out later because he's Kate Hudson's brother, and he was also in Nashville, so he actually worked. Did he work with Jonathan?
That I don't know.
I can't remember. I want to say that they did cross over at some point. Oh, look at that GH connection right there. Either way, oh, he is a gorgeous, gorgeous man. I was a Pacey fan. I am loving this. Do not tell me anything. Don't tell me anything. I will be done with it in the next couple of days, and then I'll be done talking about it on this show. But I just thought it was funny that
it's fun to go back and watch shows and see if they were as good as you remember them, and to like look at it from this new perspective. I was always a Pacey fan. I'm still a Pacey fan, but all three of my daughters like Dawson better, and I was like, what is wrong with you guys? I don't know.
And even at that age, I would have been like, can you stop crying about everything? And that's me saying that.
Right.
No,
like,
because he's just whiny.
They think he's cuter, and I agree with you. I'm all Pacey, but
let me talk to your children.
This week when I was watching, Madeline saw Geo and Scout, not together, obviously, but saw Scout and was like, oh, she's a cute little girl. Who is that? And I was like, sit down with me and watch this. I will tell you everything. So I still have hope that I'm going to get her addicted. She's getting the age that I was when I got addicted. So like I had seen it before, obviously.
Just get her to get a little crush on Geo. And
that's what I was trying for. And she plays the violin. I'm like, come on, you need to love this boy.
Well, once he starts playing again, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But no, I've just been, there are a lot of things that I'm having problems with the show, but they are things that no longer are said all the time.
Yes.
That I'm just like, oh my God, the 90s were horrible.
Yeah, we were mean.
Yeah.
Things that shouldn't have been.
Thank goodness we grew out of it. Thank goodness we grew out of it. And that it's not just we grew out of it, it stopped.
Right. So. Society said, no, this is messed up. Let's stop.
Yeah, let's stop doing that. All right. So off the Dawson's Creek docket. And yes, I will make everything have its own title. Oh, what was the one thing? We were talking to someone this week and I was like, oh, we should make that. Oh, it was JD. We're like, we need to have JD's corner. And it's time for JD's interruption. We should start having that be like a segment. And people will be like taking bets on what time is JD going to. Sometimes he's not home, guys. I don't know if he's he's home now, but he's doing something else. So
You gave him fair
um,
warning today.
I did, which I accidentally text you. All right. Question. Why is James the only child with an opening card? Not even the teens other than Geo.
I know. I also wondered that.
Just hit me today. And I understand somebody said like they just did their pictures recently.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right,
still,
because
but like Danny and Rocco should have their cards.
they
And
absolutely
Scout.
should. I mean, Lulu should. Lulu Scout does have a card. I think we saw it this week. Scout does have a card, but like Lulu should have a card by now. So I don't understand why it's not out there. I know that they've updated, but by now we should have filed through enough. But Bradford talked
No,
about
Scout
it.
does not.
Bradford mentioned it on a clip that he did. Like it was just an Instagram post or whatever. He was talking about the fact that you'll see people's pictures if they're in that day's episode, but
Yeah, but
not
who
if they're
doesn't know
not.
that?
And I don't know, some people
Sorry.
didn't.
Sorry.
But then he mentioned about, and sometimes they have to have like approved headshots done by GH, so they won't just use one that they got taken somewhere else. So if they're
Right.
not there for those, they haven't started yet for that shot, then they're not going to use it. But I
Right.
feel the same way. Lulu
They're
has
once
been
a
there
year.
long enough. Like
Right.
she should
Like
have a
Danny and
headshot
Rocco have
now.
been there. They should have their own cards.
Right. The only one I would question would be Emma, and at that point, she's has to be at a year or close to a year. When did we get Emma?
Well, here's the thing. We got Rory Gibson after we got Lulu.
Right.
And Rory has one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And you're right. Why some of the little kids have it, but not the big kids? Because doesn't Donna have her own too?
I don't think so. I really, honest to goodness, think it's only James.
See, I feel like I've seen Donna, but maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know. Maybe they're making up for missing his birthday all these years, okay?
Don't even get me started on that one this week. How the heck did that kid know how to blow out that candle? He's never had a birthday.
Read the Hulu headline so we can get to that.
Okay. Horrible torture is that, though? By the way, we've never once celebrated your birthday. Your mom's in a coma. Will you blow out her candle? On Monday, Tracy has the upper hand. Drew is rattled. Britt is caught in the act. Oh, that sounds.
Yeah.
Sunny pleads with Alexis. Emma and Gio further their plan. On Tuesday, Britt receives a warning. Portia has stern words for Jordan. Martin confides in Laura. Rocco is foiled, and Alexis and Drew clash. On Wednesday, Anna is in danger. Gio is the voice of reason. Alexis supports Danny. Sunny arranges a private meeting with Justine. Yep, we are sticking with calling her Justine.
Okay.
Felicia and Spinelli are relieved. On Thursday, Jocelyn receives a new assignment. Tracy has her work cut out for her. Marco catches Lucas off guard. Felicia takes on a new case. Familiar face lands in Port Charles. What?
Oh, it's the butler. The butler.
Oh. Okay.
The butler did it. The butler.
The butler. On Friday, Sunny confers with Jason. Laura's mayoral campaign suffers a setback. Carly updates Valentine. Ava impresses Sidwell. And Emma and Charlotte strategize. So we're sticking with James. This poor kid. Although I am glad to see that so at Bobby's, they had Felicia, Nathan, and Spinelli with James talking about Maxie's birthday. Well, poor Nathan. He comes in, he is dressed as a cowboy, so it's Halloween still, and he's dressed as a cowboy, totally like Cody.
Yep.
The second they open the door, Nathan is sitting at the first table, looking at the door, like waiting for them to come in, and James does such the kid thing. Hi, Dad. Hey.
Yep.
And runs up and like gives him, like tells him all about his costume, gives him a lollipop because he remembers that he loves lollipops.
Full reign of all his candy. He dumped it all out. I was like, Cody, you take whatever you want. I was like, wow, that's a good kid there.
And then James introduced Cody as his best friend and uncle.
Yes.
Which Nathan looked like, what? And Spinelli's like, yep, story for another time. Not going to talk about all that right now. And, Felicia just says, like, it's going to take you guys a little while to get your own relationship. And I was thankful for how Spinelli kind of did it. And then Nathan's like, are you trying to ask me if I'm going to take full custody or not? He's like, because no. He's like, I think that James needs stability. He needs to stay where he is. However, I do want to get to know my son. And I'm not saying that's forever, no. But
Right.
right now, he's not just going to pluck him up and say, come live with me. You're a complete stranger that you thought was dead your entire life. But
Mm-hmm.
then James comes over and gives him a grape lollipop because he remembered that he likes the grape soda. And so he
Right.
gave him, and James asked if he could go trick or treating with him next year, right?
Yes.
So he was just excited to be his little cowboy buddy, you know?
He was. But Cody was perfect. He saw the out with Molly. Molly came in to pick up cupcakes for
Yes.
scalloping at her house. And she's like, why are you kind of like rushing out with me? Like, I did not invite you to eat cupcakes with me. So why are you following me out of Bobby's? And he says, because James was focusing on me more than his dad. So I needed to leave so they could have their bonding moment. And I was like, oh, Cody, if I didn't already love you, I totally would now.
And I just love how Molly was not getting it.
Right.
She's like, I can carry this box. What is wrong with you? It's
Right.
like, yes, Molly, he knows this, girl. You know that he knows this. He is just saying,
Just
like,
needs an
get
out.
me out of here. Get me out of here. And then they went and got like a piece of cake or something and saying happy birthday to Maxie. And James blew out somebody else's birthday cake.
But he got to make the wish.
He did. He wished for his
So,
mom.
I mean, they gave him something. It's the first wish he ever had to.
Remember that one time that we thought we were going to get it when he and Liesel were there, and then they didn't.
Yeah, I remember. You've been
It
mad
was his
every year.
almost
I
birthday.
know.
Listen, it is also my anniversary, so I'm going to remember this kid's birthday forever.
Well, lucky for him, he at least got to celebrate his mom's, and maybe they gave him an extra big piece of cake.
Here's to make up for the 7, 8, 9 years, whatever age we're deciding he is today.
He'll be fine.
All right, where do we go from there?
Just want to kind of stick with Bobby's because then we saw Britt come down and Emma was talking to Charlotte and she got up and was like, here, Britt, let me buy your coffee. Do you want a muffin? Like, what else can I get for you to apologize? Because she had seen her earlier in Dalton's office and had flipped out about how awful she was. And so Britt's like, I mean, I'll let you pay for my coffee, but I don't know what you're doing because we don't need to really be nice to each other. And so she sat down with her and apologized and just said, she didn't want to hold grudges for feelings that she had felt when she was a child. And she is staring at that key fob. I thought for sure she was going to go for it. And she did not because Britt was hanging up the phone talking about it was somebody calling to see who she was voting for. And she was like, I don't know why these people keep calling me, but they need to leave me alone. And so she watched her pick all the stuff back up off the table, including the key fob, and put it back in her purse.
Well, and that all stemmed from earlier in the week when Emma walked into Dalton's office and saw Britt there. And immediately, because how we ended last week was she walked in and said, Britt, what are you doing here? And
Right.
then picked up this week. And Dalton was like, you guys know each other? She's like, she's an embryo stealer. And she said something, and Britt said, oh, you forgot Barbie doll or baby doll griller, which is throwing back to remember when she burned
Yes.
Emma's. Here's the thing. Here's the problem I'm having with this, and it's the same thing that we talk about a lot. Britt was an adult and had hated a 6-year-old. I forget exactly how old Emma was, so don't feel the need to correct me, but
She was
might
a
have been around.
child.
She was
She was a
a
child.
child.
Yeah.
She wasn't a snotty teenager trying to keep Britt away from her dad. She was a child who Britt was nasty to.
Right. She was a child who was dealing with the fact that they thought her mother was dead. And
Mm-hmm.
then he was trying to figure out his other relationships. Like she had dealt with a lot of stuff at that point in time.
Well, and she was so nice to Emma in front of Patrick.
Yes, that was what
And
made it
then
worse.
girl and baby dolls behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that Britt was like, no, or Emma was like, nope, didn't forget about that one. Kind of was just like, not going to tell him that, but okay. And then
Right.
Dalton's like, no, you were hired to organize my files. She's here to do research. You're not going to do anything together. And that's when they sent Rocco to get the key from Britt.
Yes.
And he asked her for coffee because then he walked in on her giving herself medicine at the hospital because
But
he
he
saw her.
didn't really see what she was doing, I don't think. Like she was already cleaning up and putting the stuff in the red bin whenever he opened the door and she freaked out on him.
Oh, okay. He walked into a room in a hospital without knocking and
he
waiting for somebody.
He absolutely should not have just walked into it. Reminded me of our conversation about how Trina wouldn't just be walking into Portia's office. Like, you don't do that. So I think that he would know better than to just walk into a hospital room, even if he had just seen her walk into it. But the way she freaked out, it was like he interrupted what she was doing. She was done. She was cleaning up. Like, calm down. There was no reason to
She was
snap
just more
that harsh.
startled. Like, I don't know. I feel like I probably would have reacted the same. I would have felt startled. I would have felt invasion of privacy. Even if I was done, it's still, you're expecting this private. She did the right thing. It's not like she was like sinking behind the nurse's station trying to give herself a shot and someone snuck up on her. She actually went into a private room to do something private and then was privacy was
I agree, but knowing that she's trying to build a relationship with Rocco to some degree, I think that she would
yeah.
automatically, like, yes, the initial yelling, but I think that you would have caught yourself faster and been like, I'm so sorry. I just was not. I know she said, I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for someone to walk in. You can't just open up hospital doors or whatever. But she still was a little harsh in the way she was speaking to him. And I didn't like it. I feel
Yeah.
like she would have been more apologetic if she was sincerely hoping to have a relationship with him.
She kind of was though once she regrouped. But then after, because she was like, I'm working, I can't really go get coffee. Sidwell comes and Britt and Sidwell talk in the stairwell. And that was the other thing. Is that okay? So was that the end of last week that it was Sidwell? Yeah, Sidwell told Dalton that Britt would not be working for him because then that's when Emma walked in. So after Emma left,
Mm-hmm.
Dalton is trying to double cross Sidwell and cut him out of the research. And
Right.
is telling Britt, like, okay, why do we even need him? You know, your dad was phase on. Let's just do this on our own, keep all the money for ourselves, blah, 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 blah. And Britt tells Sidwell, and he's like, if you want to continue to be treating your Huntingtons, you need me.
Yep.
So there's something there. But the med was Faison's final experiment.
Yep.
He's alive.
No.
He's alive.
No. I don't
Although
want him. I like so like fast forward to Carly. No, was it Carly with Valentine? Who was it that was discussing Anna just being like so obsessed with Faison that she was getting sidetracked from her job? Jason said it to Anna, right? And then I thought that Valentine and Carly had said something about it also.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. Well, Jason gets called into Anna's office and Anna asks him, can you ask
I
Britt
think it
if
was
she's
Jason
on?
too. I think it was Jason because it says Anna asked Jason for a favor, asked to find out if Faison was still alive because he was like,
Okay.
yeah, Britt's not going to just come out and tell me that.
Right. And then he points out, it could be that Faison really is dead because, I was the one who shot him and I'm pretty sure I'm a good shot and I saw him die. That they're just using this to distract you because they
That
know
was
that as long as
Jason.
you're obsessing about it, then
You're
you're not going to be
distracted.
focusing, yeah, on what you're supposed
Yeah.
to be. And it was kind of funny to watch it click in her head because then she was like, "Oh, that might be what happened." It's like obviously that might be what's going on. So I could have swore Valentine said something about Anna with that too, but I don't know. I
I
could be
don't I
imagining.
don't think he did because he was pretty much really stuck with the Josh Charlotte thing and trying to reason with Carly that listen, yeah, you are one of his weaknesses, but he does not care at all about your kids.
Right. Right. Carly was
Like he
having a hard
doesn't
time
see
getting
caring
that.
for you also means caring about your kids. Like he's just like, no.
Right. Yeah, she was having a hard time getting that because she's like, obviously, kids are part of me. No, it doesn't matter. If he thinks that you are double crossing him, Joss will be out of town or Charlotte will be in witness protection. Like, if he knows anything's going on behind the scenes with us, then he has no problem using our kids to mess with us.
Yep.
Hmm.
But then Anna's kidnapped and
Just kind of annoyed with her with that. Like, she's just not checking out her surroundings, gets in the car, sitting there playing on her phone. Like, what are you doing?
leaving a voicemail. She wasn't playing on her phone. It's
Just
not like she
playing
was
on her
playing Candy
phone.
Crush or something.
She was playing with her phone.
She
I
was using
feel
her phone for its intended purpose. A call, phone call.
she should have done that in her office. And
Yeah, that part. But she probably didn't want to because what if she's being bugged? Which also her car could be bugged. But
yeah, I just feel like she was distracted, and that's why she didn't notice that there was someone in her back seat because she was sitting there making that phone call and leaving that voicemail for quite some time. You wouldn't hear
Mhm.
someone in your back seat. I feel like I would hear someone.
Those people are good.
I've never been kidnapped, thank goodness. But I feel like if he's trying to get the drug onto the handkerchief so that he can wrap around her, or she, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl that kidnapped her, but that they were making some kind of noise.
Well, isn't it frogging? Do you know what frogging is?
No.
It's when someone's living in your house and you don't know. And
Oh, okay.
so like they'll be like, but like there's been instances where people like are living like they're under your bed and you don't know.
I feel like I would know.
I don't know. I mean, that's a very, very, very extreme one, but like basements, crawl spaces, like there's been some times where they've been like in the walls.
Yes, I have seen where I had like I don't even know what shows, but different shows where they would come home and like a blanket would be moved and it was like, how did that happen or whatever. So yes,
There's
I
an
did.
episode of CSI that I'm thinking of that the person was under the bed. That's why I'm,
Okay.
yeah,
And
it was a very specific, but I mean, if you can frog in a house, you can frog in a car.
I guess so. I expect more from Anna. I'm sorry. Disappointed with her.
Yeah. But then she wakes up in a cell tied to a chair and someone comes over the speaker in a Dutch accent. That was not Faison. That was
No.
not Faison. But they just said, be at peace, Anna. You're on your way to a new life.
Yeah. And she just screams like, no, help me.
Yep.
There's no one there, Anna. No one's helping you. Hmm.
Is there anything with all of that? Oh, Liz asked Britt if she had heard from Brad, and Britt basically told her she thinks that Brad's ignoring her. And Liz was like, so he actually got some money and kind of went off the grid, like completely changed his life. And so Britt's like, oh, so there's a chance he might not even know that I'm back. And then someone mentioned, what if Brad comes back? Oh, it was to Portia. Did Liz mention
Yeah.
that to Portia?
No, it wasn't that Britt because Britt was blackmailing Portia
Yes.
with the news of her pregnancy because she came in and was like, hey, I need you to sign this paper so I can start working on getting my license back. And Portia was like, you know what? Why don't you
Guess
continue
what time
doing?
it is, guys? It's time for JD to interrupt. Who had? Oh, shoot. We're not going to know what time it is because I edit. Although there's not really. We're 20 minutes in. I don't need wine, but thank you. Oh, remember the other night that what was it? Okay, I'll take more wine. Remember the other night when we were joking that we should have the segment of when does JD interrupt? Thank you. That's good. That's good. I am not responsible for this.
He's like, you know what? You're being a little too lippy. Have some more wine.
That was funny though. Anyway,
Portia
she
and
brought Portia a triple shot espresso Americano with steamed oat milk. And she's like, I'm good. I have my tea. And she's like, yeah, cool. When are you due?
right, exactly. And she's like, what makes you think? And she's like, I'm a board certified OB, like top of my class. What are you talking about? I can tell whenever a woman's pregnant. And since now I have that information on you, how about since you don't want me to tell anyone, you go ahead and sign this paper so that I can go do or sign me up for whatever she needed Portia to sponsor her for so that she could work on getting her license back. And then she said, what if Brad comes back, whatever he has? And
Yeah.
Portia said that she didn't think that was going to happen. And then she reminded Britt, like, this is only a temporary blackmail because in a few weeks, no one's going to be able to, like, I'm not going to be able to keep this secret from everyone. So
Right.
you better figure out your life quick.
Well, I think that Britt knows that. Britt
Right.
knows how pregnancy works.
I think so too.
Anything that anyone says is she's a great doctor. Nobody has said she's not a
Right.
good doctor. Like everyone's like, no, she's brilliant. She's fantastic. She's just a horrible human.
Right.
But then she did ask Britt how she's feeling. She's like, I'm not going to put this is one of the only times in like the past year that I could actually agree with Portia. She's like, I'm not going to put my stuff on the line if you're just going to
Disappear again. Yeah.
yeah, and not be okay. But I think that they all do have to give Britt the credit that she knows her limits. And part of why she died was because she knew she couldn't keep doing this.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I just have no respect for Portia this week. Not that I normally do, but her going to Jordan, I just wanted to scream.
Oh my gosh.
The level of hypocrisy. Are you kidding me? You're going to go there and yell at her for kissing your husband. You're pregnant and don't know who the dad is. What are you talking about? All they did was kiss. They said they're going to take things slow. They're going to figure things out. Not that it's any of your business because you already said that you wanted to divorce him. But even if it was, like, they did not go jumping into bed. You hadn't talked to Curtis 3 minutes before you jumped into bed with Isaiah. Not even jumped into bed, jumped onto your desk with Isaiah from whenever you decided you were getting divorced. And you're going to be all over Portia? I don't think so. Or all
And
over
earlier in the week,
Jordan? Sorry.
yeah, but she had told Liz that Jordan figured out that she was pregnant and ran and told Curtis and is like, why is everyone putting their nose in my business? Because your business is everybody's business. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, Curtis is still her husband.
Mm-hmm.
It is still his business if his wife is having a baby with somebody else.
Right. And Jordan could not move forward with her business until Portia cleans up her business because she couldn't lie to Curtis or not say, like, oh, sure, we're going to hook up today, but then tomorrow you're going to find out your wife's pregnant. And
Right.
then it's going to ruin our relationship. And even more so, you're going to find out that your wife's pregnant and I knew about it. And then you're going to question me on why I hooked up with you and complicated our lives, plus how I kept that secret from you. So sorry.
Right.
Don't be so messy, girlfriend.
And Portia's wondering what her marriage would look like without so much outside interference. You mean like you cheating on your first husband with Curtis and getting pregnant and having your baby with Curtis with another man, then lying about it for 20 years, then, you altering these results of a
Heather's
serial
blood.
killer woman,
Right.
but who was poisoned by cobalt. I mean, all of these things are the things that she has brought in. These are all her own lies that are
Right.
causing the interference, as she likes to put it. Maybe you don't lie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And if you're going to lie, get better at it because it's not anyone else's fault that they keep finding out this information so they can blackmail you with it. Like, hide it better at least.
Well, and then Curtis goes and tells Jordan that she was right because Jordan wasn't 100% sure. But then this is when I'm still not, and I loved Jordan and Curtis together. Like, I was really upset when they got divorced.
But I don't like how flippy floppy he
This is
is.
so dumb. This is
Yeah.
it's absolutely horrible. And she even said, she's like, why aren't you saying my wife? And he's like, because we're not just going to get back together because of a baby, but, I can't exactly get together, like, can't divorce her right this second because of all this other stuff going on with the Drew stuff. But then he goes and tells Marshall,
Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay, when I was pregnant, it wasn't necessarily a thing. I know that there were women who did wait until the first trimester, but I don't feel like it was as talked about as it is now. That
Right.
you wait until after the first trimester. I feel like that is like the standard now, whereas it wasn't when we had our kids. At least you for your first half. For Curtis is doing himself no favors by turning around and then going and telling Marshall.
No. But I think that Marshall was spot on. He was like, no disrespect to Jordan because she's a lovely woman, but I don't like how you're jumping back and forth between the two. Like, they are not interchangeable. They are two completely different people. You don't just get to say, well, if I'm not with Jordan, I'm going to be with Portia. If I'm not with Portia, I'm going to get to be with Jordan. Like, take a break, dude. Chill out. I understand they had a deep friendship, and maybe that was because there was still feelings left there, but can you let the ink dry on the divorce papers first? Like,
Can you draw up the divorce papers first?
right.
Can you file?
Exactly.
But then when Portia walks up as Jordan and Curtis, and this is what I don't understand. Okay, so we see Jordan and Curtis are kissing in the doorway, and over Curtis's shoulder, we see Portia. But then in the next scene, Curtis is gone, and Portia is still standing. Portia was still standing in the same exact spot. We didn't see Portia back away and then come back. She was standing in the same spot. Curtis just dissolved.
Yep.
He just teleported to see Marshall, and Portia is like, "You're not taking my baby."
Oh my gosh. And Jordan's like, what are you talking about? I'm not trying to take your baby. It's Curtis's baby. And we'll figure out what that means as far as our relationship goes when we get there, which we're not there yet because you guys are still married and you haven't even had the baby yet.
Yeah. And also not sure who's the dad, but Jordan doesn't know that.
Right.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm over it. This is going to be the longest 9 months ever.
I can't wait for Trina to find out because,
Ooh.
we haven't really seen it, but I would assume that off camera, mom and daughter are having those talks that you have with your daughter that's of that age of, hey, you really don't want to have a baby this young. You need to be more responsible, be careful what you're doing because it changes your whole life. I can't wait for Trina to be like, okay, so this is the second baby that you're having that you don't know who the baby daddy is, but you want to have conversations with me about be careful with what I'm doing. Like, why don't you do better, mom? How about you be a better example?
Yeah.
It's not going to go over well. And you don't know if it's my dad, who I didn't know was my dad until after you got married, or if it's this other guy.
Right. Right.
But I don't know. Maybe we should give props to her that at least it's somebody else. It's not Taggart like Curtis likes
Oh,
to
that
go
she
back to
didn't do the
Jordan.
complete flip flop.
Right. She didn't do
Yeah.
what Curtis is doing. Ugh. It is going to
Oh,
be the
but
longest 9 months.
it is. But
I
to go
was
back to what you said, we missed. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to say, not that I want it to happen, but I was for a second thinking whenever they were arguing that Portia was going to turn to walk out and like trip. And then it was going to be,
Oh,
oh
no.
no, she miscarried. And it's
No, no,
Jordan's
no, no.
fault.
We can't do that. God, they didn't do that.
So I was happy they
We
did
don't
not.
we don't need any sympathy on her
No, no.
because she is a horrible person also.
Tell us how you
Which
really feel, man.
let's get some more wine. Which is kind of it's funny the perception that everyone apparently has of Portia because I feel like she has definitely demonstrated to enough people she is not a good person.
Right,
That word would have gotten around because when Sonny went and told Alexis that he needs to talk to her about a legal matter, he tells her because this is what Nina told Sonny. Nina told Sonny at the end of last week that Portia would also have she's who she teamed up with to drug Drew.
right,
And so Sonny went to Alexis and was like, hey, so I hear that you're representing Willow and that, there's a good chance that you are going to pin this on Michael. And she's like, what do you know? And he's like, well, Christina and I just talked. She's like, my daughter doesn't know about my defense. He's like, do you think your daughter doesn't know how you work?
right,
Like, come on. So he tells her about Portia. And Alexis is like so surprised to hear that Portia could do anything wrong.
right. It's like, I don't know why you would think that. Do you have any other evidence? And he's like, I don't know why she's doing it, but you don't just hire someone to drug someone else for no reason. There has to be something there
Right.
that she's upset about. And then Drew walks in and is like, why are you even talking to Sunny? Like, let's forget the fact that they have a daughter together, Drew. They're not allowed
Right.
to have a conversation at all. Why do
Right.
you instantly think they're talking about Willow's case? Because they might not be.
Right. They might be talking about their kid.
Yes.
But then Alexis goes and hires Felicia, asks her if she still has her PI license. And Felicia's like, yeah, I keep up with my CE. What's up? And she asks her to investigate Portia. And I think that Felicia's actually the one who had the more, what do you mean? Portia could be doing something wrong?
Right. So yeah, but I did like that Felicia remembered HIPAA. She was like, I will give you every bit of
Yes.
information that I can find that is within the perimeter of my job that does not go against HIPAA. And I was like, good job, Felicia.
Yay.
It is a thing.
Yep.
So who
Then
is
back
the
to-
guy?
Okay, I recognize him from somewhere.
Who is he? What is he doing?
I don't know.
I don't understand. He was listening intently as Felicia called to make sure that someone could get James to his writing lesson because Spinelli had something with Georgie.
Which I have a
And
question about that. Why didn't you just call Cody to go see if he could go pick up James?
I have no idea. And where is Bailey
And she had
Lou?
to talk to Brooklyn and ask Brooklyn to not be working so that she could go and like make it way more complicated than listen, being a mom is complicated enough. We
Right.
do not need to add these extra. Cody would do anything for that kid.
Exactly. Assuming he didn't have a lesson right before him, he would go and
Right.
pick him up. But no one mentioned Bailey Lou. Where's Bailey
Oh
Lou?
my gosh, that's right.
Who's,
Yeah.
who's taking care
She's
of
still
her?
taking a nap.
I mean, can someone at least stay at the house with her while she takes a nap? Because that's where my concern is. But all right.
Maybe she's in the daycare at the hospital that we never see anymore. So Felicia's taking her to work with her.
Maybe. Okay, I'll allow that. But we see this creepy guy just like sneaking around, listening to the conversation. And then he walks over to Felicia and hands her this file that's like way too big. And a pencil falls out and he leans down and grabs it, sets it back on the table, and then walks away to go to the elevator. And she looks at the file and is like, hey, what's this? Who is he? What is he doing?
Okay, I do recognize him. I don't know if it's from General Hospital though.
Right. I don't know. And
So I don't know.
if he had the information that she needs on Portia, why wouldn't he have just given it to Alexis or somebody and sent it
I don't think it has
anonymously.
anything. I think it has to do with Anna.
Oh, with Anna? Okay.
I think that it's going to have something to do with the five poppy stuff. And either, see, I thought that Felicia was going to be kidnapped, and I thought we were going to have Felicia and Anna be kidnapped together and have an adventure.
Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been great.
I would have been all for that. Yes. Let's kidnap someone else, please.
But then I was mad at myself for thinking about that because I'm like, no, we cannot be doing that to Maxie's kids right now.
Oh, that's true. They don't
Yeah.
need to lose their grandma too, or not
Yeah.
know where their grandma is. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
So,
with you on that one.
yeah, bad timing on that part. Bad timing for an adventure. But
I like that
I don't know.
Laura is the only one that's realizing that Anna missing is a bunch of crap, though, because Brennan's like, I
She's
just want
the
to
only
let you
one that
know.
knows. Brennan knows, but she's really the only one that knows other than Brennan.
But even Emma, I feel like Emma would know her mom, her grandma better than that.
I don't know because she did that when she went to get lucky. She just up and left.
I guess so. She
Didn't
really
she? Like
needs,
she very quickly, and I think she did say bye to her, but I feel like she definitely.
but I assume that she gave the proper notice to other people also. I don't know. She really needs to talk to Jason so that Jason can be like, yeah, Anna wouldn't have just left like that. There's no way. So that
Right.
he can go rescue her because even though he's not on the police force, he's the only one that knows how to rescue anyone.
But I don't think Laura knows how close Anna and Jason are.
That's true.
I think that they've kept that one very, very close to themselves. Because I don't even think Emma knows. I don't think anyone knows that they've stayed close.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how we're going to realize that Anna's missing then.
Valentine. Valentine's going to realize it
How is he going to realize it? He hasn't seen Anna.
because Brennan's going to go talk to him because he's going to move Valentine to New York. And then he's going to be like, can I talk to Anna? And they're going to be like, yeah. So, fun fact, she's gone. And then Valentine's going to say, okay, you need to. Well, and that's the thing, too. Brennan's going to need his help to find Anna because I think Brennan's covering his tracks. I think he knows that she was taken and that he should have done something to stop it.
I think he took her to use her against Valentine.
Brennan's in on it, or Brennan did it.
Yes, that's what I think. I think Brennan's in on it because he didn't want to use Charlotte against Valentine, so he's using Anna against him. Like, I'll let you know where the love of your life is if you give me all these answers, because you're not telling me enough stuff when it comes to me just letting you have Charlotte visit.
Yeah. I did like Lulu and Charlotte's conversation this week because Lulu said they're talking about moving your dad. That means we'll be able to see him more, but then that puts more of a target on you. And Charlotte's like, yeah, I've known that my entire life, but
Right.
that doesn't mean anything because my dad would not let me go see him if it were dangerous.
Right.
And Lulu's like, it's my job to discern between the danger in your life. Charlotte says to Lulu, and if Grandpa Luke were in the, like, if you were my age and Grandpa Luke were in prison, what would stop you?
Right.
And Lulu, we've been making her smarter, but this week we just got a little bit stupider again.
Yeah.
Because when Charlotte said that she recognized that Brennan would be going to her for more information about her dad, Lulu's like, "Oh, you're too smart, girl."
It does not take a brain surgeon to figure out that they're going to use her against her dad in any way that they can or to get information from her dad.
Yep.
I don't know. Lulu, I feel like we take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Opposites attract.
So one week I'm like, yay, Lulu's getting a brain. And then the next week I'm like, oh no, she lost it again.
We took it away.
So, but at least she's talking to Charlotte. She's trying to be a good mom. Oh, she found Charlotte's tablet underneath all of Tracy's boxes. I thought that was a very real life moment because there's so many times that something's lost in our house and then it's just buried under the dumbest stuff.
Yep.
So that was good.
Yeah. But then Laura tells Lulu about Anna missing and about how Laura had gone to, that's how we've alluded to it, but we haven't actually talked about it. Brennan called Laura and said, oh, by the way, your police commissioner's not doing her job. And that he had gotten a call that she had been reassigned or she had been called up by the WSB for an assignment. And that's what you were talking about, that Laura was like, yeah, there's a process to go through with something like that. But she reminded him that Charlotte is not a pawn in his negotiations, and that is not happening as far as she can
control that.
Yeah. So
I hope he remembers that.
He already forgot.
I hope he remembers.
He does not actually listen to women.
No,
ever.
No.
If he did, he would not be in the pickles that he is.
Very true. Very true.
What else along those lines? I don't think there was really much else with all of that. You talked about it earlier. When I couldn't remember the new person that landed or a familiar face lands in Port Charles. Pascal is Sidwell's butler now. Measure C was a 50-50 vote, and Jordan speaks French.
Yes. Yes, that was great. I did like not because of the 50-50 vote, but because they were preparing for the 50-50 vote. I did like that we saw Jason and Sunny talking about how they made other plans and bought some piers in New Jersey in case they needed. Rochester. Sorry.
That's New York.
It is. Sorry, I was thinking they said New Jersey. You're right. They said Rochester.
What have you been drinking?
I have not been drinking anything good. So, but yeah, that they're planning in case they do lose their peers, so they can just move their business somewhere else.
But we also learned that Sunny does not use them for anything illegal anymore, like ever.
Yeah. This firework business went under, I guess. I don't know.
We thought that we thought that he was still doing illegal stuff because I mean that's what his whole thing has been. And he said, "I don't use the peers for anything illegal anymore."
Right. The fact that everyone wanted the peers so bad made you believe that there had to be something shady going on from there, and that the
fact that we've been wondering what Sunny does forever.
Yeah. So I'm glad
now what clarified. Is Sunny's illegal business? If he's not importing anything that's illegal, what is his illegal business now?
I don't know. You have to call him up and ask him. I'm not sure.
It's going to be the fireworks. Because remember how fireworks were illegal in Pennsylvania and you had to go across the border to get them? Mm-hmm. Well, maybe fireworks became legal in New York, so now they get them. But now he's the person that's delivering them to the states where it's still illegal.
There you go.
Yep. So they're not, he's correct. They are not illegal coming into the port.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I hope the GH never ends, but 100,000 years from now, when it does end, I hope that's what they reveal on the last episode is it's all been fireworks all this time.
Are fireworks illegal in Canada? Hold on. Are private fireworks illegal in Canada? Because that would actually make sense. Dang it. They're not illegal.
Oh, well, see.
Womp womp.
Darn Canada.
I was at least thinking that gave us an option, that it was he's then going that way with them.
No.
But then he tells Jason, okay, so back to Brennan real quick. Brennan, and before Anna was kidnapped, Joss is the only one who realized, gee, my Uncle Lucas is dating Sidwell's son.
I'm so just over Joss. Again, get to the point. I don't know what they're doing. I don't like it. She says she goes and sees Lucas, and then that's whenever Marco comes and surprises him by inviting him to live with him, except for it wasn't really a surprise because Lucas had just talked about how he didn't think he was ready for that because he's not over all the stuff with Brad. So then Joss is like, okay, I'm going to leave.
He talked about that with Ava, though. He said that he thought that Marco was alluding to it, but he hadn't actually asked him.
I know he hadn't asked him, but he had a good idea. It was not the shock.
I think he was planning on him asking him that day, though.
No, but I still don't think it was that big of a shock. So Marco asks him, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll move in with you. Ava was just talking to me about what my future plans are. And so then Joss goes back to Brennan and is like, I know you wanted me to get information, but I can't if he's living there because now he's part of it. Well, he's not really part of it unless he knows what's going on. And Lucas is not going to go with Marco's deceit if he knows what's going on.
Right.
It's not going to happen. And Brennan gives her the lecture of how he'll pull her out and move her somewhere else if she can't do the job.
He threatened her with treason if she tells Lucas that he moving in with Luke or Marco is too fast.
Yeah.
It is treason if you tell him why.
Right.
But not just, she's like, well, I'm going to tell him that he's moving too fast. And he's like, no. And here's the thing. We talked about this I think we talked about on the Bobby episode, that Lucas and Michael are closer in age, but we never saw them having a close relationship growing up. And yeah, we did see them over the Wiley stuff, but we never saw them having as close of a relationship as you would think that they would have had given their closeness in age.
Right.
There's a much bigger gap between, Lucas is definitely older uncle to Joss. So yeah, he's not going to go.
Him and Joss are friends because him and Carly were so close.
And they lived there together. Would be going to Joss for her opinion about moving in with Marco or not, which is
No,
why he
but
even said, I'm not talking about this in front of my niece because they're not in that relationship. They're
right.
close, but they're not in how I would go to Erica, like, but
Yeah, but I think that Joss is definitely Carly's daughter in that even if it wasn't appropriate for her to speak on it, she wouldn't keep her mouth shut about something if she had a strong opinion.
that's true.
And they are kind of close because they lived in Carly's house together for a while. So they like formed that friendship. And they had talked about texting when he came back. They talked about Joss texting him and telling him different things. So they had a closer relationship off screen than we were aware of.
Okay.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. And I
So,
think that Michael and him aren't close because of Wiley.
but like I said, I don't feel like they had it. They were before that though.
No, no, but I think it's definitely not happening now because of Wiley.
But
So,
you would have thought like going to high school together, they would have been close. Like we
right.
should have, I feel like we would have seen them hanging out. But
Yeah.
we didn't.
No.
So yeah, so Marco went and asked Lucas to move in, and Lucas says that he's on call all the time and he can't be living it. Oh, Marco, when he mentioned to Sidwell that he was considering asking Lucas to move in, he's like, he lived here for a little while he was a kid.
Yes.
So that was back when he was living there with Bobby.
Yes.
I'm surprised that Sidwell wasn't like, really? Why?
I think Sidwell likes to pretend like he knows everything. He read Lucy's travel guide to Port Charles. He's well aware of who was involved
Oh, right.
when.
But apparently Sidwell made it much easier to get off Spoon Island, but we don't know how.
Right.
Does he have a helicopter that he could just go from helipad to helipad
I wouldn't think so. I don't know what he was talking about.
and a live-in helicopter pilot that would just be there 24/7?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I need to know. I need to know what he did.
Mm? I'm not sure. But whatever he did, it satisfied Lucas enough that he was like, sure, I can move on to an island and move in with you. I'm not having a problem with them moving in together. I'm having a problem with them moving in with his dad. Like, that's just weird.
It is. I agree.
Like, Sidwell's not
But
an elderly man that needs someone to help take care of him. And because he wants to keep his business under wraps, the first thing I would say is, I will put you guys up in a real nice condo in the city, but no, you're not moving into my house.
right. And Ava had just had the conversation with Lucas about him needing to have an exit strategy.
Yeah,
And I could not read the books that were on her. I tried so many different ways
I'm sure you did.
to get pictures and I couldn't see it. The first one is something about in New York. I mean, they're definitely art books. I just need to go back and rewatch it. But anyway, she said, it's fine that he's there, but she only has a one bedroom apartment, I'm guessing. And so he needs to find a place of his own. It's not like he was complaining about that to Marco. And then
No.
Marco was like, let me see if you can move in with me and my dad for a little while until you can get back on your feet. There's more than enough rooms. That would have made so much more sense for all of
Yes.
this rather than, or Ava had been at Windermere going over
Mm.
art with Sidwell. And if she had said something about, oh, I can't do this because my nephew's staying with me, whatever, oh, yeah, that's right. My nephew is dating your son. And then Sidwell could have said to Marco, why don't you have Lucas move in here?
Right. Any of those things would have been a better storyline. I do love
It
how
would have made
Ava
more sense. It would have moved smoother.
Yeah, I do love how Ava uses the fact that she's lived in that house to want to decorate every corner of it. She's like, this would look good in that one staircase over here. And he's like, let me think about it. And she's like, okay, I mean, you can see it in person, but it's pretty much a done deal in Ava's mind.
Yes.
And then Sidwell asked her for information on Sunny, and she was like, no, Sunny and I have had our ups and downs, but we're at a good place, so I'm not getting into this with you.
But what was the purpose of that flashback? There's always a purpose behind
There
the flashback.
flashes back to Sunny holding a gun on her, and I'm like, there's
Yeah,
a lot
that's not how
more.
that ended. That was,
Exactly.
yes, but they didn't have a relationship.
No,
It
they had
should have been.
a one night stand in
So,
a crypt. Ugh.
oh, but exactly, like it would have been. Oh, so as I understand, you guys didn't actually have like a relationship. It was more of a, and then had that flashback.
Yes, exactly. Anything that told a better story than just that picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that she was like, no, we've worked hard to get where we are, and I'm not gonna sit here and give you information I have nothing that can help you. Sorry.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just was loving the flashback. And I was disappointed that because we did continue Halloween and talk about Sam passing, that we didn't get any good flashbacks to Sam.
That was really weird that Drew comes in and is talking with, this is back to when he cut in with Sunny and Alexis, because I thought he was going to obviously talk about Scout, but again, kind of forgetting that it was still Halloween. And I guess he was supposed to be bringing Scout over to the house. She was going to go trick or treating with them or spend the evening with them so that they could have a remembering night with Sam about Sam. And he tried to say that he was going to take her to DC instead of letting her go trick or treating. And she was like, why don't you come over too? Like, this has been a hard year. Let's just all get together.
I felt like he made it sound like it was Scout who was like, Dad, I really just want to be with you tonight. And so he was changing
I didn't take it that way.
Oh, I took it that not that that's what actually happened, but the way that he was trying to make it sound. And so she did the good grandma thing and was like, why don't you come too? And it'll just be us, all of us comforting.
But he had just lost the house. So he was mad. So then he was going and saying, nope, no one's getting anything that I haven't decided that they're getting. And so he was going to say, nope, I'm taking her back to DC with me. And I thought that it was nice that Alexis was like, no, why don't you come over too? This has been a bad year for you. Let's just all get together and just remember Sam. But then we see Scout on the couch looking through her tablet, seeing her friends posting about the trunk or treat. And Christina and Molly offered to get together a costume and, take her out and everything. But Alexis had just said that she was going over for trick or treating. So I find it hard to believe that she didn't already have a costume. It's one thing if she decided, you know what, I don't want to go, and then realizes halfway through, oh, maybe I should have.
Right.
But it made it sound like she wasn't even prepared for it. But Alexis kind of just said that they were.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that they were going to stay in and watch Hocus Pocus. And then that's when Molly left to go get cupcakes.
The cupcakes, yep.
But they're putting stickers on pumpkins and drawing on them instead of carving.
I'm not the right person to discuss that with because I do not carve pumpkins either because they get all mushy and gross and I don't want to deal with it. Do you still carve pumpkins?
We didn't this year, but I feel like it was the first year that we haven't in a long time. Because
I don't do stickers, but I would let the kids paint them, even if they weren't painting faces on them. They were just painting the pumpkin, and that's what we would put out because then after Halloween, you could throw them away when they were still nice and firm. Because if you cut them up, then they get ooey gooey. No, thank you.
Why don't you just take them to the woods and leave them for the deer?
I don't know, because I don't go to the woods.
Southwestern PA.
No
you
woods
take them over to Boyce Park and you just throw them in the woods, and the deer have a field day. They love it.
I'm not as nice of a person to the deer, I guess. I don't know. I would paint them and throw them away. So I didn't have a problem with their stickers.
The deer cannot eat paint, so don't do that.
Right. No, I wouldn't. I did not.
Don't give them the stickers. Don't. No.
Thank you. I wasn't doing that.
Carve them and then throw them away. Like, yeah, you just leave them. You feed them to the deer.
I know there's a local farm that asks for them.
Yep, there is. Yep.
I've seen that, but no, it's too much work.
Lots of options.
Between carving and dealing with the goo, and now I have to drive somewhere to dispose of it. No, thank you. I will just paint it.
Cut it up and put it in your own compost pile.
Sure, because I have one of those too.
You can make one.
Right next to my rainwater collector. What are you talking about?
My rainwater barrel?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Scout. Christina and Scout talked a lot about Sam, and she was like, I love talking about my mom. And Christina was like, I'll talk about her anytime you want to. And she's like, thanks. Because all Dad wants to talk about is Willow.
Mm-hmm. How sweet was Danny with the candy?
Yes.
Best big brother ever. That's why I wanted a flashback. Whenever we saw Danny come in, or Danny was talking to Alexis and was talking about he understands why he can't go over there. Excuse me, that's what Drew said, was that if Danny was invited, that Scout could not go. So
he had already said that she wasn't allowed to go. And then he was like, well, who's going to be there when she invited him? And he's like, well, who's going to be there?
Right. So then she's explaining to Danny why he can't come over. And he's like, that's fine. I totally understand. Drew's a jerk, whatever. And then Jason comes in and he goes to leave. And then he stops at his book bag and unzips it and is like, can you give this candy to Scout? It's my mom's favorite. And Alexis is getting teary-eyed and she's saying to Jason, like, I know this is a hard day for you too. And so I'm sorry, a 5 second flashback would have been, for all of us.
Right.
But we didn't get it.
Well, or even, isn't that how Danny found out? Was that he came to the hospital to give Sam her favorite candy?
I thought it was to show Scout's costume, but maybe.
Oh, it might have been that too. Okay.
But yeah, I remember us joking last year, like now they've ruined Halloween for those kids forever. They really have. They couldn't go trick or treating or to the trunk or treat.
I will say it's not necessarily forever. Just, I mean, my friend died 3 days before it, and the first one was hard, and the second one was not much easier. But I mean, it's obviously on the night of Halloween is completely different than a couple days later.
Right.
But yeah, like the first year, I still went just because I was 11,
Yeah.
and that's what you did. And
Right.
I just remember feeling like a zombie. Like I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be doing anything. I just wanted to be home.
Yeah.
Not fun. I mean, it's like any holiday though. You eventually figure out a way to
Right. I mean, there's never a good time for someone to die. So,
uh,
yeah. And then we see Molly come back with the cupcakes, and Christina is like, "What happened to these cupcakes? They're a disheveled mess."
right.
And she's like, "Sorry, they were kind of manhandled because of Cody." And then Christina is like, "Oh, Cody, like give us the scoop." But that was cute. I like the sisterly back and forth.
Yeah,
And then Alexis came back and was like, "Oh, here," and they all had a piece of candy to remember Sam, and that was cute.
that was nice. So before we get to the Sunny and Justine went axe throwing. He
Yes.
rented out the place and made her lasagna at the axe throwing places. I no.
If you're Sunny, maybe you do those things. I don't know. I've never had anyone try to do that for me.
Yeah. But he actually tries to warn her that, hey, Alexis is going to tear you apart.
Right.
And she's not believing him. And I think that she's going to have to learn this lesson the hard way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And she keeps thinking that he's trying to protect himself. And he's like, obviously, I don't want my son to be brought up next. And I have certain feelings about Willow, but no, really, this is for you. You're going to get ripped apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said his lasagna was amazing.
Yes, the best ever. And she stuck the last. So at first she was like me and it completely bounced off. And then it stuck
Yes. She's mastered axe throwing. Good for her.
with only 2 throws. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But then was it before that or after that that he saw Laura because Sidwell had gone to Laura and was trying to talk to her about working with him and he's like, my buying the peers could pay for the public schools and she's like that's not how that works.
Right. Learn a
But
little
then he
bit
said
more.
something about how like not all transactions are monetary and so he was like threatening her and then Sunny and Laura talked about the fact that Sidwell basically threatened them both personally but not them like obviously it was threatening with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember if that was before or after he had the dinner with Justine.
I think that was after the dinner with Justine, but he walked in on Martin being there because
Yes.
Ned said that he would not, that if Laura asked them personally not to press charges against Martin for the whole will mix up, that then he wouldn't, but he had to go and tell Laura everything. And Laura was like, I don't understand why you would make a situation worse. Like, just because Tracy had done this to you does not mean you take the house from her. What were you thinking? And I will go ahead and call in that favor for you because I don't want you to go back to jail, but you can't live in my house anymore because you're not acting appropriately. And he
Yep.
got all defensive and was like, "Oh, you can't hang out with the likes of me, but you can hang out with Sunny." And she was like, "Those are two completely different things. Either take it or leave it."
She said, Sunny lives in my city, not in my house.
Right.
So she's like, I am not disowning you. I am not shunning you from Port Charles. I'm just saying you cannot live in my house.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that so we saw Outback. I wasn't thinking about that. Outback stole the papers.
Yes. Yes.
Cody actually ran after her and got them. He is so darn adorable when it comes to that dog, though. He's like
He
walking
is.
in looking for her. He's like, she answers to Princess Pie sometimes.
Right. Right.
But so Outback stole the papers, and Martin is like, we can't get another copy because they'd have to be recertified and notarized. Okay, you can. You don't want to. Two
Right.
totally different things.
Yep.
And then Ned told Drew that if Alan were alive, he would have been disowned. And that's when Tracy comes in and has the will. Oh, because that's the thing is that we saw Tracy finally getting the will out of the box
Mm-hmm.
and reading that Monica wrote her a note saying she knew that something was going to happen. She put the correct will in Alan's diplomas because she knows that she is the only person that would have been going through that box and that she knew that there would be subterfuge. And so, like, here's the actual will. So, like, we weren't sure if Ronnie was going to sign or not. And then she tore up the
Yes. Yes. I was
thing.
glad to see that they ended Ronnie like I wanted, or at least that saga of Ronnie like I wanted, of her being the one to say, no, I'm not signing this and ripping it up, so that if she ever wanted to come back and visit in Port
Yep.
Charles, she could still do that.
So Tracy gives the genuine will to Michael,
Uh huh.
and she had not actually read she only read the cover letter that Monica had left. She did not even read the will. She just knew that this was not the thing. And so she gives the will to Michael, basically saying, here's your house. And it turns out that Ronnie says that yes, because they kept arguing, like, well, how do we know that this is actually the right will? And Ronnie's like, it is because the one leaving her the house was forged. Martin had done it. He had contacted her before Monica died, said that he and Monica were close friends and that Monica was so worried about what the family was going to do when she died that, you know, she wanted him to take care of everything and everyone's all horrible. And so she decided to come up and help Martin because she thought maybe this is the case. Maybe Monica's been being taken advantage of. The family is horrible. And it was when she was saying goodbye to Monica, and that's when Tracy came in and gave her a whole bunch of crap. And that's when she decided to go ahead and go along with Martin. So that's what our girl said in the Port Charles pipeline. And because Ronnie decided at that time that Tracy deserved it, but then she found out that the rest of the family was not like Tracy. But then Martin, oh, because then Ronnie even said that Ronnie did say that Drew had nothing to do with it. Like she didn't know. Well, okay, she didn't know if Drew had anything to do with it.
Right.
Um, and then Drew gets all mad and leaves. Chase arrests Martin.
Yes.
Are they allowed to do that? So, like, your
I
ex-wife.
have no idea. I don't know in that type of circumstance. Like, they have a duty to act, but I don't know if that's just in like emergency
Well, that's what I would
situations.
think. Like, if you see like someone breaking into somebody's house,
Right.
absolutely. If someone has forged a document, is that really arrest at this on site worthy?
I would assume not, but I don't know for certain.
Okay.
So, but Chase seemed a little hesitant too. Like he wasn't sure what he was supposed to do either. And then uh, Ronnie says something about she'll leave tomorrow, and Tracy's like, "No, you'll get out of my house right now."
Obviously, you just jumped ahead then. Michael read the will
Oh,
and said
sorry.
she didn't leave the house to me. She left it to you, Tracy. And she did. Monica left her the house and she left Ronnie the locket and enough money for her to buy a house in Duke Forest, which is her favorite neighborhood in Durham.
Yes.
And then that's when Tracy kicked him out, kicked
Yeah.
Ronnie out.
Kicked Ronnie out. And then
Yeah.
everyone else was like, well, if you're not going to let her stay here, even though she's family and she did the right thing in the end, then we're all leaving. And Tracy's like, you guys aren't going to leave, whatever. And they all left. And I don't know where they stayed that night. I'm assuming the hotel. But then
No,
they
this
didn't
is
eat
what
at the
I was so.
hotel.
I mean, it makes sense because Olivia is co-owner of the Metro Court, so that makes sense. Then why didn't they just go to the Metro Court for breakfast? Because they
Right.
all went to Bobby's. I wish they had all had to stay at Bobby's and have Olivia saying, like, you know, that convention's in town this week. All the rooms were sold out. We weren't able to get a room. Like even in my own hotel, I can't believe I wasn't even able to get us one room for us to all share, and we all had to share those two rooms upstairs because that would have been such a throwback to when the Quartermaines lost the mansion.
Yes. I would have
That would have
liked
been
that.
so fantastic.
Yep. And yeah, they come into Bobby's for breakfast, and Gio's like, I'll be happy to serve you guys. And Ned's making jokes about some people are more hard to please than others. And then finally in walks Ronnie after talking to Tracy, because Tracy called her over and did
Mm-hmm.
the, oh yeah, I'm sorry that I was mad because you forged the papers, and so now we're all fine. And Ronnie was like, no, that's not a real apology. I'll tell your family that you apologized. I'll even make it sound good like you were crying, but that wasn't a real apology, and I'm not going to deal with it. And then they continue talking. What did she say? Put a sock in it? Was that the
Put a
final?
sock in it, and
Okay.
that's what broke Tracy.
Yes. And so Tracy's like, what did you say? And she was like, I said, like, you're being a jerk, and went back through her whole spiel. And Tracy was like, no, the last thing. And she was like, put a sock in it. We said that whenever we were kids. And then Tracy kind of broke down and was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was so mean to you. I'm sorry that I doubted you. I'm sorry for everything. And so Ronnie went to Bobby's and told them
She even
everything.
said that she was so sorry that she didn't get to know Monica the way that she should have. I mean,
Did you cry?
I did. Because you could just see, like, it's like I've said a few times recently, like, Tracy has softened so much, but she tries so hard not to, and then put a sock and it breaks her.
Right.
And, she realizes, oh my gosh. But to be fair, I think that she really wasn't trusting Ronnie's relationship, quote unquote relationship with Monica. I think that she really thought that to some degree it was still being exaggerated. But having her say that exact phrase, I think solidified, okay, she did, even at one point, because then that's when Ronnie broke down, when she got the locket and the money for the house, because I guess that's where she wanted to live. And
It was the fact that Monica remembered. She said that she had
yeah.
told Monica that was her favorite
Do you
housing.
think do you think that that is what Ronnie asked her for? That she said that she hadn't earned or deserved. Do you think that Ronnie asked her when she was younger, well, you have money, you can buy me a house?
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Because she said she turned me away because it was something I didn't deserve or I hadn't earned.
That
I'm
could
going to
be.
pretend, I'm going to pretend that that was it
Okay.
and that they reconnected too late in life. Monica was already sick. Monica wasn't going to buy her a house now,
Yeah.
but she would leave her the locket and the money to buy the house of her choice in Duke Forest. That's the
Perfect.
story I'm making up.
All right. I'll go with it. It sounds good to me.
I think that was everything.
Well, we have to finish it. So
Oh,
she went to went to Bobby's, told
oh
them
yeah, yes.
all,
I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
and then they didn't believe her at first, but she was like, no, seriously, it was a real apology.
Well, they all
And
had appointments with Lucy later in the day.
yes, yes. And then she went over and talked to Gio, and
Yes.
Gio was like, really? She apologized for real? I knew she had it in her. And that was just super sweet because Gio had been the one who talked to Tracy earlier and had kind of convinced her to go ahead and apologize because she was the head of the family and she was
Yes.
not accepting that responsibility. And he was like, that's the reason that Monica left you the house, is because now you're in
Yes.
charge of keeping everyone together. So I love that they're putting Gio in that spot so that he can work things out.
Because didn't he go over there? Because he didn't know that all that stuff had happened. He thought that
Right.
we were
He
still
was
getting the
going,
house. But Emma had talked to him and was like, because he had said something about how the Qs have a history of stabbing each other in the back. And she's like, yeah, but don't you think you actually have a chance to not do that? But
right.
so he's more upset about the fact that the Qs metaphorically stab each other in the back, but he's more willing to accept Sonny,
Mm-hmm.
who, okay, maybe he doesn't use knives. I guess if he used knives, it would be an issue. But the fact that, he uses other methods
Right.
is okay.
I feel like Uncle Sonny has always been someone that he's been told that he could trust, and that's what matters in the end. And the Quartermaines, he
He was
hadn't
also
learned that
told
yet.
the same thing about Lois.
Yeah, but I feel like that's different because he knows that Lois betrayed him and Sonny didn't. So,
True. That is true. That's true.
and he's starting to forgive Lois. I mean, we saw that conversation the
Right.
other week, and he's definitely starting to see that his parents weren't trying to harm him in any way. They didn't even know that he was being placed with his adoptive mom.
Right.
So, but yeah, I just like the family stuff. I really like Gio. He's cute.
He is. Oh, the last thing I have totally off. Jason came to see Britt to give her car insurance card because we don't have apps or emails for that anymore.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That kind of bothered me. I'm like, I don't think I have a paper one anymore either.
No.
And I am still very much a hard copy person. Like I have but I still think that that's something because you just take out your phone and you're like, here you go.
Yeah. And if she wanted a paper copy, I'm sure there's a printer at the hospital. She probably could have printed off one.
Well, to be fair, They probably can't. Okay, I don't know how it works. I would imagine that a hospital has really high security and filters on their personal emails or like their emails. So, like, if stuff comes in, they probably couldn't just like scan it to themselves. They probably can't connect their cell phones to the printer.
So you could email it from your personal email to your
But that's what
office
I'm saying. Like,
email.
it could also have like a filter, like they don't accept stuff like that. That like they don't
Mhm.
accept attachments or something.
I
Think
think,
about it. Your doctors, it's all through the portal,
yeah, I think you're
giving them too much
giving,
credit.
yeah, from someone who's engaged to someone who works IT at a hospital. If I send him something, he can absolutely email it to
But
his,
he doesn't.
his
He's not a doctor.
He's not a doctor. He's not a doctor, but I'm assuming that there's like settings. Most likely there's settings to different printers because each like nurse's station has its own
And to
printer.
be
So
fair, Britt
depending
is
on where
not
you're
a
trying to
doctor
access
either
it.
right now.
Exactly.
Sorry, but yeah.
See, I should have said that. That would have proved my point more, but I wasn't thinking. Yeah, it probably depends on what station she's trying to print from, like where she's opening her email.
Okay, yeah. So like
It's
in the ER, she cannot access that computer. She probably can't access her email on that computer.
true. But either way, no, I'm with you. It would have been a simple screenshot like, hey, if you want to print this at your convenience, you can, but here you go.
It's like I know when I worked at the bank, we couldn't print personal stuff. It had to only be bank documents.
Yeah, I never tried to print anything personal at the bank, so I don't know.
But you also didn't work in the bank. You worked at a different department.
Right.
You worked for the bank, just not in the bank.
Right. I was phone support, like banking support. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else? I feel like, wow, it was an exhausting week. I would have said beforehand, like it felt like a long week, but I didn't think there was so much like
There was a lot.
in and
I
out,
thought
but
there was
there
a lot.
was.
Yeah.
Wow. Reality check.
So what'd you do?
Nothing that exciting, that's for sure. I really had like the most boring week ever, I think. I didn't have anything crazy that I needed to do, which was nice. And Madeline was at her dad's Monday, Tuesday because we were off for election day and we had parent teacher conference. So I didn't have to deal with all of her stuff for those days. So that was nice. And then we're getting ready. Blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow she has a cheer competition. It's the first and only one that she has to do. So we're excited / nervous for that. And I'm a little annoyed that it's another thing that I have to pay money to go see my own kid at.
Yeah. I'm annoyed for you on that.
I'm so tired of that. Like one parent, if you're going to demand that a parent is there, one parent should get in for free. I understand if we don't
They
need,
demand that you are there too.
yeah, you can't just drop off for this.
Yeah, one parent should absolutely get a wow. Okay.
So, but it's like that with all of her stuff, like all of her dance stuff, all of her everything. You have to pay. Okay, and it's only $10. It's not like it's breaking the bank, but it's the principle of, you know what?
Absolutely is.
I have to watch her at home. I have to drive her here. Can I at least get in the door to see her, please?
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you.
yeah. Oh, Emily started her new job today, and it is going well. So that was
Where
good.
did she go?
She's just at Five Below because her dad was harping on her to get something so she can start paying rent and saving money and being a big kid. So
Okay.
for right now, because she doesn't have her stylist license yet. She still has to
Okay.
that. So I think that's where the disconnect is as far as her getting into an actual salon. Plus, it's ridiculously busy. I don't feel like anyone wants to take someone new under their wing right now because almost all salons, there's still like a practice time before they put you on the floor with your own clients because they know that at school you didn't get enough time. So I feel like right now it would be the worst time. But anyway, so she's at Five Below. She had a lovely day, and that's awesome. So I'm glad for her. I will be avoiding that store because I don't need help spending any of my money. So I will not be
Shame she wasn't working the other night.
I will not be visiting her work.
JD and my daughter went there the other night because one of his coworkers fixed her computer. And so
Oh.
she went and bought him a little gift as a thank you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Super, super sweet. It is. I'm not ready for the holiday season yet, but so far, because we're only a few days into it at least, it seems like everyone is
No,
being.
we're not. We're not into it yet. We still need Thanksgiving.
No. As far as like
No.
shopping and stuff, people are there.
No.
Have you been to the
No.
stores? Because you're wrong as far as the
No.
commercialism goes.
No.
We were at
No.
Target today because Madeline has a friend whose birthday is coming up, and we were putting together a like treat basket of her favorite things. And there was a woman that approached us asking how old Madeline was because she was buying gifts for an angel tree, and she wanted to make sure that she was buying
That's
something
different. Those things are
appropriate.
different.
And so I liked how kind and like nice. Just it felt nice. You know how like there's too many people. It was still too people-y. But besides that, there was too people-y. Everyone was still in the nice mood. It wasn't that day before Christmas where everyone is over it and yelling at each other and being nasty. It was like, yay, the Christmas spirit is coming.
I have never had to deal with that because I don't do that. If I am not done like a week beforehand, it's not happening.
Okay, well, that's just absurd.
No, it is smart because I save myself the frustration of having to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, but half the fun is finding that last minute something that you wouldn't have gotten if you didn't go out at the last minute.
Spending money that I don't need to be spending on junk that they're not even going to use for that long? No, thanks.
No.
I'm good.
You're looking at it all wrong. You're very negative, but okay.
I'm not negative. I'm a planner.
Sometimes your planning's so fun. We run into that a lot.
Wait, when is my planning not fun?
No, I mean, just our differences in the way that we do things. We run into that a lot as far as planning versus last minute.
Yeah, it's stressful whenever you don't plan.
Not always, but
yeah.
Anyway, it was nice to see people in the holiday season.
No, it's not the holiday season yet.
Okay.
It is getting ready for Thanksgiving. Yes, it is that kind of a season. Yep.
All right. So what did you do this week that was not getting in the holiday season?
My daughter and I went to go see a play last night that was kind of last minute. We went to go see, it's kind of like, so I don't know anything about Harry Potter. Like, I don't know anything. She's seen a bunch of the movies, and it's a high school play called Puffs or 7 Increasingly Eventful Years at a Certain School of Magic and Magic. And it's basically like a spoof of Harry Potter. Harry's in it, but it's not based on Harry. It's based on another orphan that was shipped off to a family member and found out that they were magical and like all that stuff. It was really funny. Like, I don't know anything about Harry Potter, and I enjoyed it. So I feel
That's
like
awesome.
if I enjoyed it, other people will enjoy it. So if your local school is having it or local theater production is having it, and the kids were so talented. There was this one kid in particular he used like from his hair to his toes, like just his entire body was acting, and he was comical, and he was just but it was like perfect. There's this one part where he gets frozen, and this other kid, like just, and I guess they also had the other kid cast correctly too, because the kid who was frozen was not little. He was like a typical teenage kid, and the other kid was just like a bigger dude. He just comes over and picks him up and like turns him sideways like you would pick up a piece of wood or something, and just like walks right. The kid didn't move.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Nothing. So, I mean, I guess the two of them together, it was really, really good. So that was fun. And we went out to dinner beforehand because like one of the local restaurants was having a fundraiser night. So that was nice. And then the same friend, my church had a women's conference today. And this is like a friend I haven't been, everything has just like gotten in the way of us actually physically seeing each other for months and months. And we had the women's conference today too. And so she was there. So that was nice that we had like 2 dates in 24 hours.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But my daughter came to the women's conference today too, and that was fun. And I think that's really it. That's pretty much all that I did. Well, and work stuff. So
yeah.
And I made banana bread.
You did. It was yummy. I meant to text you. Whenever I ate it. It was very yummy. Thank you.
And we had a photo shoot.
Yes.
We have some stuff coming up, guys. So be on the lookout for some things.
Yes.
Coming down the pipeline. But before that, we're going to talk about Bobby. Part 8. 10, not part 8.
Part 10. Yes.
Part 10. Yep.
So have a good week.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.